Hi guys, welcome to Educating Shani. I'm Shani and I have an eating disorder. Hi Shani. Hi. So happy Thanksgiving, week of the Thanksgiving week. And today I wanted to do a video on tips to keep you from binging and purging on Thanksgiving. And this is not just for bulimics who binge and purge. This is also just for people who have binge eating disorder who just binge. This is just kind of a tip for anybody to not binge. And the reason I'm doing this is because I personally have a really big problem with binging or with purging in front of people or around people. I have a really big problem knowing that somebody might be hearing me purge. I've always I've tried to hide my purges from my husband, from my parents, from everybody. I'm sure I didn't succeed sometimes. I do not like to purge. I don't like to binge on Thanksgiving because I know that I will feel like I have to purge afterwards, and so I had to start coming up with ways, to not binge at Thanksgiving, which is extremely difficult when you have an eating disorder. I tried a few things, I failed with a few things, but there are a few things that did work. Before I get into my list of things that did work, I do want to say what didn't work, and this is important because it led me to a different eating disorder. So a couple of years I tried a couple different things. The first year I tried not binging by just staying away from all of the unsafe foods. So like in my mind, I went to Thanksgiving thinking, okay, I'm only gonna eat carrots and celery and whatever other vegetables they have out there, maybe like a bite of turkey or something, But all that did for me was when I got there to the buffet of the food, all I could see was all of these delicious foods that I wanted, and I couldn't even see the healthy stuff. I really couldn't. All that was in my line of vision was the bad for me stuff. And so I just didn't eat it all. I just walked away and pretended I don't remember what I did, but I pretended like I couldn't be there for a minute and left and came back when everyone was done eating. So that didn't work. It worked. I didn't binge or purge, but I restricted and I starved, and that's not good. That's just as bad. And the other thing that I did was I went in one year thinking, okay, I'm going to keep myself really busy, which means I'm going to be helping everybody if they need more food. I'm going to be doing the dishes. I'm going to be setting things up, taking things down. I'm going to watch the kids that always finish eating first and then go downstairs to play. I'll go watch them and I'll help them. And again, that led to the same thing. It led me to just completely restricting because I stayed away from all the food. I kept myself busy, which normally would be good, but I did not eat a bite at all. So, but in the past, 11 years, I guess, since Danny and I have been married, I have only purged one time, which is good, but, and then I had those other 2 years where I restricted. So really it was 3 out of the 11 years that were eating disorder behavior, but I have tried many other things, and these are things that did work for me. I don't know if they'll work for you, but it's something that absolutely helped me, and these are all ideas that I came up with. One of the ideas on this list I have not done yet, but I did come up with it, and I thought it was a good idea, so I thought I'd put it on the list even though I haven't technically done it. I've kind of done it. I'll explain to you when I get there. I'll explain what I mean. Okay, so here are Shani's top 5 tips to keep from binging and purging on Thanksgiving Day. Number 5, eat off of a smaller plate. You've all heard of this technique. People use it to diet too. People use it for other things. But the reason it's good when you're bulimic or if you just have binge eating disorder, this is also for you. It's not just for the purgers of the bingers. So anyway, so get yourself a smaller plate and you can fill it with food and not feel as guilty, or you can just eat, fill it halfway and eat that, and then you could go back for seconds, and by the time you're done, you still haven't really eaten a full plate of food. You could at least put that in your mind. And I know it's difficult, it's almost impossible for us, but just try and not think about the calories. Try and think about how your body's feeling while you're eating the food, and if you're feeling a little bit past that line where you know you're gonna have to purge later, then stop. Get up, do something else, walk away. That's when you need to stop. Number 2, I've done this a few years and it works, but you will get a lot of questions from people. So I used to tie a string around my finger to remind me not to binge. I hate purging, but I love binging, and that's my problem. And then I have to purge because I can't breathe if I don't. But anyway, string on my finger is to remind me that if I do binge, I'm gonna have to purge here. And it's usually not at my house. And even if it is at my house, there's a million people around because it's Thanksgiving. And so you're risking your nieces and nephews hearing you, which, oh, my goodness, I have a story there. I'll tell you that story later. But anyway, or you're risking adults hearing you and getting, a lecture. Ed might think it's a lecture, but really they're just trying to help you. But anyway, if you want to avoid that, just try putting, it doesn't even have to be a string on your finger. The problem with that is that I got a lot of questions about it. And so I just said that I was like trying like a new fashion. Like I just tied it into a bow. It was actually really cute, so it kind of worked. Anyway, you could try anything else. Try like writing it on your hand, or try wearing a bracelet that's a certain color that you've already decided in your mind will be a reminder for you. That's what I did with the string. I put a red string to remind me to stop binging, or to stop getting past that point of feeling full. So yeah. Number 3. Am I doing this right? Am I doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or am I doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't even remember now. Shoot. Oh well. Well, either way, this is number 3. Number 3, have yourself a helper or a buddy. Danny is my helper buddy. He is there if he sees me taking too much food, and he knows what's too much food for me because he's lived with me for 12 years. He knows when I'm eating too much. He knows when I get past that point. So he's always there to kind of nudge me at Thanksgiving dinner and be like, okay, just reminding you. And I'll usually get pissed at first because I'm like, no, I just want to eat more. And then he'll be like, okay, you can eat more, but are you going to throw it up? And I'll be like, yes. It helps me to have a buddy there. It helps me to have Danny there. That's a big one for me. And if you don't have a husband or a wife or a partner or anything like that, you can ask somebody else who's going to be at your dinner, your parents, your sibling, your, niece and nephew, if it's appropriate enough, if they're old enough and appropriate enough. Maybe not a niece or nephew, like an aunt and uncle or grandma, or I don't know, somebody that you care about, somebody that you trust will tell you, will remind you these things, and kind of like a sponsor, like a Thanksgiving sponsor or something. I like it. Yeah. Danny's my sponsor. He's cute. Number 4. This is the one that I have not really tried yet. I kind of have, and I'll explain how right now. What it is trying, so my idea is bring the food that you would have normally purged on, so like a big plate or 2 big plates or whatever, to somebody that's homeless or to somebody that doesn't have food. Or I was thinking that you could invite a homeless person to your Thanksgiving dinner, or you could invite somebody that you know that doesn't have family and doesn't have anywhere to go to your Thanksgiving dinner. And the reason that works, this did work for me, I technically did not invite them, my mom did because it was at her house, but a really dear friend of ours, I'm not going to say who, came to Thanksgiving one year, and she is just wonderful. And for me it worked because she, we're really close, and she wanted to sit by me and chat with me, and with her being there, I was focused more on her than I was on the food and overeating, because I was like, it was kind of out of my comfort zone in a way. Not that I'm not comfortable around her, but I'm just uncomfortable eating in front of somebody that I've never eaten in front of. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. Anyway, it helped to have her there. The reason I don't want to say who she is, and she knows who she is if she's watching what I'm about to say, is that she had just gotten over an addiction herself. When she came to Thanksgiving, she had been battling drugs for years and years and years, and she ended up having a serious conversation with me about it, and she really gave me a lot to think about. So for me, I think that's a great idea, to invite somebody that you wouldn't necessarily be comfortable eating in front of, or that you wouldn't be comfortable binging in front of, I should say, eating more than what's necessary. And then, yeah, taking the food to the homeless, I think is a great idea. I've never done that before. The other 4 things on this list have worked for me, but I still would like to try that one year. I'd love to go volunteer too at a homeless shelter, and then you can appreciate how little food some people actually have, and maybe it will help me not take the food for granted. I don't know. So that's just another idea that I had. Okay, and number 5, or number 1, I don't remember which order I went in, but the last tip that I have for you is the one that works the very most for me, and it's, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry, what the heck? I don't cry, what's that about? The number 1 tip for me is to just lose yourself in Thanksgiving. Lose yourself in gratitude. Be thankful. Really soak in the moment. Look around and see all the family and friends that you have that are there with you. Think about the family and friends out there who are not with you. Think about your family. Think about what Thanksgiving is about, which is being grateful for the things that you do have, including the food that is on your plate right in front of you. Be thankful for the food. Don't take it for granted like we do every other day of the year. And I'm not saying that the day after Thanksgiving, go ahead and go back to binging and purging. I'm just telling you what I feel like would work for the actual day of Thanksgiving because I've experienced it. And for me, being grateful and really focusing on what I'm grateful for and all of my blessings on Thanksgiving Day has always been the number one thing that has helped me get through many, 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 many Thanksgivings without purging. So yeah, okay, so there's my list. If you have any more ideas that you've tried and that work for you, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I'm sure other people would love to hear them. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe to get videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a fun video on Friday with my husband. Join me through my journey through Tuesday and Wednesday, through my journey through finding recovery for my eating disorder, as well as educating you about eating disorders. So join me for that. Subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do for me. And that candle smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Oh, man. It smells like Christmas. That makes my teeth look even better. Okay, so anyway, happy Thanksgiving. I hope your Thanksgiving is wonderful and that you can spend it with the people that mean the most to you. And just remember to not take anybody or anything for granted this holiday season, and always and forever and always in our lives and all of the seasons of the seasons. And yeah, so I will see you tomorrow for my weekly Wednesday update. Thank you for joining. You are beautiful. You are worth it. And I am too. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, I forgot my turkey. Oh, crap. I had a turkey. It was to make it not just Christmas, but turkey too.